Are you enjoying the expansion of your desire? That's good, because you can't stop it, can you? Your life causes you to continue to ask for more. And the asking part is not the problem, because you can't stop asking. But sometimes we notice that you are uncomfortable when you have asked for something, and you're asking for it because your life experience has helped you to identify that you want it. Sometimes by knowing what you don't want, you so much more clearly know what you do want. So the variety of your life causes you to ask for more. But then, instead of thinking about what you are asking for and finding vibrational alignment with your new desire, sometimes we see you standing in a place where you are beating the drum of where you are in order to justify what you are asking for. You learned that by pleading your needy cause to your mother. When you simply said to your mother, I think that would be nice and I want that. Sometimes she said to you, well, there are things that I want to, and I've just learned that I don't get everything I want, and you don't either. And we say, that was your first step in the wrong direction. And the reason that your mother said that to you is because very early on, because of your relationship with your parents, you began to believe that all of your well-being would flow through the vortex called mother, or through the vortex called parent. And so sometimes you ask for things that your parents were not in a place of easily or maybe ever providing for you. And so they began to explain to you that you don't get everything that you want. And that's just not true. And the reason that we are so emphatic about that is because we know how the universe is established, and we know that you are source energy creators. We know that you've come forth into this physical body, into this leading edge time-space reality for the express purpose of giving birth to new desires, which source eagerly provides. In fact, that idea is so central to your life experience that we've written a book, and the book is called Ask and It Is Given. And the reason that the book is called Ask and It Is Given is because when you ask, it is given. When you ask, not only is it given, but when you ask, the non-physical part of you literally becomes the vibrational essence of that which you are asking for. You are source energy in physical bodies, and you have come into this leading edge experience with the intention of letting the variety that surrounds you cause you to focus into something further. The expansion of the universe and the evolution of all that you know is about that. So it is so well known from your non-physical perspective that when you have an experience that causes you to ask for something more, that the non-physical part of you becomes it, that you came into this experience understanding that anything that this time-space reality could inspire you to desire, this time-space reality has the wherewithal to provide for you. But somewhere between that knowledge that you held as you made the decision to come forth into this body and where most humans stand now, there is a gap in that understanding, because most of you have come to know or come to expect or come to believe that when you want something, that it is not necessarily going to manifest in your experience right now, this red hot minute. And we want to say to you, that's true because you live in this buffer of time. But when you ask, it is given every single time. And the expanse of time between the time that you're asking for it and the time that you're actually receiving it is all up to you. And it has to do with how quickly you align your vibrational frequencies to that of your desire. Everything that is in this reality is a translation of vibration, and the gap between the manifestation and where you stand is so much slighter than any of you are now understanding. It's just a thought away. But what's happening to so many of you that keeps you from letting it into your experience rapidly, so you believe that creation is long and slow in coming, is that life causes you to give birth to a myriad of new ideas, which the source energy part of you immediately becomes. But then instead of you going with that positive flow and talking about why you want it and how nice it will be when you get it, instead, most beat the drum of why they need it. I want more money because I don't have enough money. And it is so irritating to me that I don't have enough money, and I've never had enough money. In fact, most of those that I know don't have enough money. And it's wrong, you say, that the government takes so much of our money. And they spend it in unwise ways. They squander it and waste it, and it doesn't go where it needs to go. And I'm very tired of that, you say. And then you say, I want more money, but I do not think that there's any way that more money can come to me because I'm already working as many hours a day as I can. And anyway, shouldn't I have a personal life of some kind? And I don't think that I should have to put so much of my energy into earning money. I think money should come to me more easily. And look at that young person driving that beautiful car. His father probably bought that for him. He's probably dealing drugs. And so as you beat the drum of not having enough of something that you are wanting, you hold yourself in vibrational discord with the abundance or with whatever it is that you are asking for that is lined up outside your door. In other words, there is a vibrational gap. Now, your life caused you to give birth to something that the larger part of you became one with, but you've got to catch up with it vibrationally or it cannot be yours in manifestational form. You will only be joyful when you are vibrationally up to speed with who you are. In other words, you cannot have been in this physical body as an extension of source energy and have had this life experience cause you to expand yet further, and the non-physical part of you take to that expansion and become it. And you can't stand in vibrational discord to that and be happy. You must stay up to speed with who you are becoming. It's just that simple. You will not feel fulfilled unless you do. Jerry and Esther have navigational systems in their vehicles. You probably do too. They have 4 different kinds now in 4 different vehicles. But they all operate on the same premise where the system knows where they are. They program in their desired destination, and the system gives them turn-by-turn directions of how to get from where they are to where they want to be. You have the same sort of system within you. In other words, you are where you are as a result of the drums you've been beating, the thoughts you've been thinking. But because of what you've been living, you are also this expanded being. And so both parts of that vibrational equation are within you in any point in time. Who you have become is offering a powerful, dominant vibration. And who you are letting yourself be by virtue of that which you are giving your attention to right now is another vibration. And those 2 vibrations are playing off of one another and giving you emotional feedback. The better you feel, the more in alignment with who you have become you are. The worse you feel, the more out of alignment you are in this moment with who you have become. Imagine taking your canoe down to the river's edge and putting it in the water. So you put it in the water and you deliberately turn it upstream and begin paddling very hard. And we say to you, why not just stop paddling and let the current carry you? And humans say, Abraham, that just seems lazy. And we say, yes, but the stream is so sure and the stream is so strong. Why fight that current? Why not go with the benefit of the flow? And humans give us all kinds of reasons why they don't. But mostly the sentiment behind what they say is, we paddle upstream because we've been taught to do it by others who are paddling upstream. In other words, it's just what we do. And we say, yes, but how long can you keep that up? And our physical friends say, I don't know, but I'm willing to do it as long as I can. I'll do it or die, they say. I will paddle against the current because it's what I've been taught to do. And we say, yes, but how long can you keep that up? And they say, I've been going to classes. I've been studying. I belong to a user group. I go to community parties. I have support groups all around me, and I am getting stronger every day. And really, Abraham, it's not as bad as you might think. Once you develop the muscle, and besides that, since everybody else is doing it, it's frankly easier to do it than not do it. Because if I were to let go and just flow with the current, no one would think that I have any value. Virtue and all of that stuff is about paddling upstream. And anyway, they often say, I hear there are more rewards in heaven afterward. And we say, we understand how you have learned that, but we really want you to know that nothing that you want is upstream. And the reason that we know that so emphatically is because we know the reason for the current. We know what the current is about. We know that the current flowed with you into this physical experience. We know that this current is the source energy that is projected here in this time-space reality. And we know that the current is about the eternalness that we all are. We know that the current is about life experience causing you to ask for yet more. We know that that is the current. And we know that the current moves faster because source energy hears your request and becomes it. We know what this cycle and this current is about. And we know that everything that you want is downstream of this current. And further, we know that source, the God that you are reaching for, the source that is within you, that source is calling you toward everything that you have become. And we know that in this river, that this call of source is downstream. And when you go in the direction of the call of source, you go with grace and ease. In other words, going with the flow is effortless once you get the hang of it. So there are two things that we want you to understand that are so essential to understanding your experience here in this life and the deliberate creating that you are about. One is that the speed of your stream is self-induced. In other words, your stream flows as it flows. Oh yes, it was flowing before you came into this physical body. It really was. But the life experience that you're living and the eternal asking that this life is calling forth from you is causing a faster moving of the stream. A beautiful woman came to a gathering not too long ago, and during her lunch hour she visited with her children. And one of her children said, "Mom, if you get a chance to ask Abraham, will you ask a question for me?" And Mother said, "Yes." She was the first one called on after lunch, by the way. It was an interesting thing. The power of that child's question got his mother right in the chair. And the question that he wanted the answer for is, why are grown-ups so grumpy? And our answer is, because the longer they live in this contrasting environment, the more life causes them to ask for things that they don't allow themselves to move toward. In other words, the longer you live, the more you ask. The more you ask, the faster your stream. The faster your stream, the more you get beat up by the stream if you don't flow with the stream. So when you are accustomed to paddling upstream in a faster and faster and faster moving stream, you get torn apart. In other words, there's a tug of war going on within you that is not pleasant at all. But when you allow yourself to go with the flow, oh, what a frolicking good time you can have when you have a fast moving stream and you're going with it. So the two factors that we want you to be aware of are the stream moves fast, and the longer you live and the more you ask, the faster it moves. And it's important that you know which way you are pointed within the stream. And the way you are pointed within the stream is everything about the way you feel. You don't even have to paddle downstream. Many of you say, oh, I'm over here, what I want's over there. Shouldn't I turn my boat around, put a motor on it, and get over there? And we say, the motor's not necessary, the stream's going. But what you must do, if you're to feel any ease in your life and any speed toward what you are wanting, you got to stop paddling upstream. And so here's what we want you to really remember from this gathering. In the moment that you stop paddling upstream, the current will turn you and the current will carry you. And in that turning moment is your feeling of relief. That's where all of your power is. It's just in allowing the natural stream to turn you and carry you. There are so many things that you can do that will make you feel better. But the most important thing is that you be aware that when you do feel better, you've done all that you can do. You can't turn in the stream and all of a sudden be to where you want to be. But you can stop paddling upstream, and when you do, the stream will turn you. And when the stream turns you and the stream carries you as it will, everything that you've been asking for is there. We want you to understand also that this is an eternally flowing stream. So there is no end destination. So while you're turning in the stream, life's going to cause you to continue to ask for things. So there will always be something more that you are flowing toward. But we want you to get the sense that what life, what a good life, what a productive life, what a life the way you meant to live it is like, what the fulfilling, rewarding, self-created, genius creator life that a source in a physical body intended to live, what you intended to do was to live and ask and flow toward, and live and ask and flow toward, and live and ask and flow toward. And when you realize that your emotions let you know the only thing that matters, which is the direction of your boat in the stream, and when you realize that any form of negative emotion simply means that you've turned and you're fighting against the current, and when you stop doing that, then the current will carry you, now you've got it all figured out.